As expected, the Nasdaq did bounce from the 20-day moving average, although, like I said in yesterday's video, you're gonna have to wait for the trend to form on the 15 minutes, and essentially, it was an oscillation day, like I had suggested. Based on this trend, you can see that it was just oscillating up and down, and there was eventually a late afternoon sell-off, probably based on the stimulus not being able to pass. Let's take a look at Amazon. So this is my primary instruments for trading, and it was a pretty decent day. It was up about 25, except for this one loss, and that what happened here. Essentially, I missed this sell-off, and I caught one wave. The only wave I did catch was, I believe, it was one of these waves right here. Um, and that was the only wave that I caught up. Um, I missed this wave down. So the strategy essentially is to try to catch the waves. Otherwise, um, so try to catch the waves. That's where you're gonna make the most money. And so that was the one right here for 411. Now, I didn't buy any options. I'm still waiting for the right opportunity. Obviously, I wasn't gonna buy any options today, based on the premise of what I said it was gonna oscillate. So there wasn't gonna be enough momentum. Days like today, you should not be trying to buy any options, even though they are movements. It's just not. You want to wait for the big waves, the push or the flush, to buy either the calls or the puts. Today, I really just scalp and looking for the direction. So eventually, at one point, I was leaning up, so I missed the afternoon with this, essentially this sell-off that happened here. So this sell-off was pretty wicked, and this is where I lost the close to 700. This is very unfortunate because I had to buy a protection. So I bought a 3200 call at 66.80. Essentially, I bought it right when I bought it was right here. And I'm telling you, right at the end of this candle is when I bought it. And what they do, they just squeeze me over. Essentially, if you look at the transaction on this one, it was literally a minute for my buy and sell. Well, maybe a little bit longer because I did not anticipate this run up. And so the next time I need to be careful when I'm buying a protection that I have to have some kind of immediate stop when something like this happens. Because instead of taking the $200 loss, when I saw it goes the opposite direction, I mean, instantaneously, I was down like 200, almost 300. But I waited because I was like, what's going on? I couldn't believe it that it's just reversing. And that's what I mean by that's why I keep saying they see your shares, because it seems to me that every time I get in, right when I get in, they see that I get in and then they flip the switch right there. Um, but I had to buy the protection, and just because I didn't know if it was going to continue to dump. Um, Now, looking at this, they kind of protected it 1, 2, 3. So I kind of should have the idea that they were going to hold this support level, which is 50% on the Fibonacci. So they held it, but I had to buy the protection just in case. I mean, you never know, just because they show that they were protecting it after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this candle, I think I bought it, yeah, right at the end. 5 seconds left before the end. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. But you never, I mean, that's a lot of support to have 6 candles with these type of reversal. These on the candle, I call them the doji tails. These are reversal candle, and of course they ripped it right back up. Essentially got me to squeeze me out, or I had to cover because I didn't know how much it's gonna keep going, and then it came right back down. I mean, it was unbelievable the way they do that. But that's unfortunate. This was not this should not have happened if it was not such a manipulated market. But anyhow, it did happen. So I should have been up 2,500. Instead, I was up. I only end up the day 1,800. Not a bad day, but I mean, I'm still waiting for to catch the real waves. I think in this market, catching the waves is going to be the main way to, and you gotta maintain your you gotta maintain your strategy and keep at it because if you lose your strategy, you're gonna get burned pretty easily. So right now, what does this tell you? Well, it looks to me, it looks like it did hail the 50% and it went down, but not close enough to the 50 to say that it bounced off the 50, but it did not make a lower low. So if you can look at this, the low is 31.92. This one is 31.92 as well. So it essentially held a low from yesterday. And after hours are up. So let's see if they can run it tomorrow. The volume is kind of light, but I actually expect tomorrow. The volume on the options is not anything indicating that it's a bullish condition. This is Netflix. But if I were to look at Amazon, well, you do have 11,000 on here, but there's some volume on the puts as well. There's 7,800. Not as much. In the five. But if you look at the individual puts or whatnot. So you have this one at the end where there's a signal. Now I couldn't catch this wave. It was so fast. It was so fast I couldn't catch that wave. Even though I was looking right at it, it just happened so quickly. So this is actually a signal that yeah, there's some put buying. So I think tomorrow would be another day. They may try to squeeze it tomorrow. If not, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, now the earnings is gonna be the earnings in the afternoon or the after hours were pretty decent on Snap. So Snapchat did pretty well, and then you got the other one like Texas Instrument. So Snapchat, yeah, all the way up. And I was thinking about buying this stock actually because I knew it was gonna have decent results, but it's unfortunate that they ran it up to the high. I don't like buying when the stock is at the high for earnings. So tomorrow you got Chipotle, CMG, and yeah, it looks like it's a decent buy for earnings. But the thing is, Netflix missed. So Netflix is now it's going to hit this target tomorrow. Maybe it will penetrate this. Maybe not tomorrow, but this week it will penetrate this level. So there's further downside on Netflix. And of course, Tesla is reporting earnings tomorrow. That's gonna be the big one to see the results. There's other companies as well, like Biogen, and I forget the other companies, but there's a few other companies that are reporting, but Tesla is gonna be the big one, and hopefully it's gonna be good earnings. But you never know. I have a suspicious feeling it's not gonna be good because Netflix didn't report good. I know they're not related, but typically Netflix uh do not miss earnings like this. And then there's some report that Tesla is showing weakness. So I don't know. They all report that the registration in California is kind of weak. So it could be a setup for a yeah, it could be a down. And so any gains you make tomorrow, I wouldn't carry anything over. If they do try to squeeze the shorts tomorrow with a run up, I'm thinking they most likely this is kind of like a consolidation with higher. I mean, it's kind of consolidation, and then if it breaks out of this level tomorrow, looks like it's set up to gap up and whatever it do, but eventually it's gonna try. You notice the afternoon. Typically, the afternoon it would continue to run, but not today because of all this selling weakness. Puts are not just gonna the put buy options are not just gonna let it give it up like that. But eventually, I think either tomorrow or Thursday, they're gonna squeeze out the shorts. And so, but you never know. The shorts might be able to win. Right now, it looks like the aftermarket is up. And if results of the earnings are decent, it's gonna set up for a squeeze to probably this level by option expiration. So that's what I'm looking. That's my target for option expiration. I don't see a crash coming this week with earnings unless something really bad happens, either with the stimulus talk or package or something else, external factor that right now everything looks like it held the 20-day moving average. You can see it held the 20-day moving average, held the 20-day moving average on the SPY, on the DIA. Apple probably jumped. Yeah, Apple is now above the 20-day moving average. Google, of course, jumped. Yeah, and then Boeing. And let me see. Shopify is down. TTD should be up. Um, yeah. Any other one of interest? Adobe. Let me see where Microsoft is at. Yeah, Adobe is up above the 20-day moving average. So Microsoft should be also up. Where's Microsoft at? Here it is. So Microsoft is above the 20-day moving average. Autodesk should be above it. Yeah. Let me see if I'm missing any other one. I do like this company. I'm trying to get it. Look like it's yeah, recover already. But this CRISPR, I'm hoping it will fall down. Let me short by market cap. See if I miss any other one. Baba, uh, Walmart is still looking nice. Home Depot. So everything's bouncing off the 20 pretty much. So I'm seeing this looks pretty bullish right now, even though you got a huge retracement. It looks like it's a bounce off of the 20. So with that being said, condition tomorrow is ripe for a squeeze. May not happen tomorrow, but it may happen on Thursday if Tesla report decent earnings. They want to report good earnings. They want to squeeze the shorts. I mean, this type of movement down, these are all shorts, and they are just ripe to get squeezed. If any good news coming out, so that's my expectation. You still gotta just be disciplined, okay? I can't. You don't want to front run. You don't want to guess, and you want to just, follow the discipline. Be disciplined, follow like a robot, take the loss, don't overthink it, and just follow the trend. Most important is follow the trend. Don't try to time the reversal. And that's what I did good today was I didn't really time any reversal. So I waited for, I mean, normally I would try to time the reversal, but now I waited and I was able to get pretty good results by not timing the reversal and just going with the trend, making sure the trend is solid up, and looking at this reversal candle. I can get them and stay small. And so far the strategy is working pretty well until they throw conditions like this, where it just kind of unfortunate that these type of condition exist. And I mean, when you get this type of wicked reversal right here, you gotta protect yourself, and just in case it drops. So I did have to do that, and then unfortunately it reversed and then came right back down. So right now, yeah, I don't see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Not really. The options are not showing any real signal. It's still stronger on the calls than the puts, but there's not anything, there's not anything glaringly that suggests, it's heavy, but it's not. There's nothing here that indicates to me that they're going to push. If you look across the board, there's nothing. There's not significantly heavy options on the calls compared to the puts. Across the board on all the top uh, tech company. Now Microsoft, yeah, even yeah. I mean, but it is across the board, so that is a good sign. To look at it across the board, all the big techs has higher call options than put options, which suggests the bias should be in the positive side. Even though it's hard to say because I mean, yeah, this you can see there's volumes on Google, which normally don't even have any options, but they're buying that up. So it looks like they're setting up for a short squeeze, in my opinion. Whether how much they can squeeze, I don't know. Because this is yeah, I think the condition is right for and here if you look at this, I mean it is bouncing off of the 5 day. I mean this is the weekly looking normally the weekly you don't get a nice signal off of the 5 week, but it still looks pretty nice. There's not much imbalance. Like if you look at the coronavirus time, that's where you saw imbalances. Going down definitely has more imbalances than going up. Going up, the 5 week moving average is very clean. And then you got this September, and there was some imbalance, but even the imbalance is not too far off. And here you can see it has the tail is touching, so yeah, the 5 week tail is touching. Here it's touching the 20. So the imbalance is not as bad as I thought it would be, which may indicate that they might continue, depending on how this look. It might end up. I don't know if it will end up green. If it doesn't end up green, then it still looks like it's a failing candle and it will set up a failure for next week. However, if it does end up green, it may this 5 week will move up a little bit higher, the tail will move up a little bit higher, and it still would look pretty clean, and but it would set up a condition to go higher. Right now I'm surprised that yeah, I guess that's why I missed I just didn't believe it was going to go that far down where it actually touched. I thought it was going to be green up here with a small tail, and it would have imbalance where the 5 week would not be touching. But then it turned out the exact opposite. I mean, it went. This green right here is a brain seed, and they conditioned me to think that it's going to be positive, and then they reverse it. So right now, technically, I have to go with technically and just be disciplined, be a robot. This does look like it's, you know, a bounce off the 5 week. So we'll see if it continue to bounce off of this 5 week and then maybe a short squeeze because it is earnings. So we'll see how far they can run this up this for next week. Maybe it'll not maybe it will level up with this, maybe it will fail it, and then it'll set up a reversal. But for right now, this is looking pretty clean. And let me see how the QQQ looks. So you notice the QQQ does not look as clean as Amazon. And that because what I've been saying, Amazon represent the market now. Amazon is the technical because it's such a big conglomerate of multiple. It represent tax, but retails and everything. It's just such across the board that, and also it's the largest value company as far as price. Now, had Apple not did that split, Apple would probably trade a lot cleaner. But because now it's only 100, it doesn't trade as clean. But even then, you can see technically, yeah, technically it's still, well, no, they have an imbalance here. So that's just imbalance in that gap. But if you look at Amazon, there isn't that much of an imbalance. Yeah, everything is touching, everything looks nice. So Amazon, and even if you use the technical on Amazon, it's always kind of nice. 50 right now is support at the 50 on the Fibonacci. If you look at the technical, there's always bounce off of VWAP, support on the 100. The 100 right here support. I mean, there's always some type of technical reaction to these type of technical line, and that's because everybody's paying attention to Amazon. It's the cleanest instrument for whatever reason, and it represents the market the best as far as the big market, the QQQ, and that's why it's so clean technically. Even on the 5 week, it looks fairly clean compared to everything else. So this does set up I mean, if you look at everything right now, it looks like it does look bullish, and let's see how far it go up. I'm thinking the target is definitely 3,300 for Friday. Whether it happened or not, we don't know. That this is right now the target. So we'll see if that happens or not, because essentially, it may not happen because there's so many external factor right now, and also because the Bears do not want to give it up.